Hi there, I am Meghan Freed from Freed Marcroft. Today we're here to talk about tips for using your divorce law team efficiently. Collectively, our team here at Freed Marcroft has worked with thousands of people with a divorce or other family law issue. And although every client is different, the tips about how you can use your family law team efficiently and effectively are very similar from case to case. There are three different ways to look at the efficiency of a divorce in terms of money, in terms of emotions, and in terms of time. And we have tips for you today on all three of those. Later on, I'm going to give you an opportunity to learn more about how we've designed things here at Freed Marcroft to make sure that we are also respectful of your time, money, and emotional health. First up, not every member of your team will have the same hourly rate. And at Freed Marcroft, we make sure that we allocate work so that it's done by the most efficient member of your team for the purpose of that work. You can also assist in two different ways. First, by contacting your paralegal when you have a question, rather than going directly to your lawyer. At Freed Marcroft, all of our paralegals are very experienced family law paralegals, and they can provide tons of answers themselves. They are also our resident air traffic controllers, so if an attorney is the best fit to help you with the answer to your question, your paralegal will both identify that and get it set up for you. Plus, because many of our attorneys are in court often and our paralegals are mainly based in the office, they not only help you get the correct answers, but they help get them to you very quickly. Okay, that brings us to our next tip. Legal teams bill for their time. So the more streamlined you can be in your communications with your team, the better. For example, if you consolidate multiple topics into one email or call or meeting, and if you get the documents and information that your team requests over to them when they request it, that'll save time for them, time for you, and therefore your financial resources. At Freed Marcroft, we're continually building out our complimentary library of client resources, and that's designed to help give clients insights and an overview of different parts of the divorce process. This lets you learn more about what's coming next and what you should expect, and also sets you up to have a more streamlined conversation with your legal team that's focused on the specifics of what's happening to you in your life. For example, our monthly client community calls have covered everything from how to plan in advance for a smooth first holiday season, that's something that comes up for a lot of people, to what you can expect for different things when you go to court on them. And that leads us to our third tip. Don't get stuck in the weeds. Identify what matters most to you in your divorce as soon as you possibly can. At Freed Marcroft, we've learned that this is so essential that we devoted our entire first step, the Goals and Planning Conference, to that. Identify your priorities and then keep your eye on that goal. When you're going through a divorce, it is way too easy to get caught up in 1,000 different daily dramas. Doing that basically guarantees that you will be unhappy. Instead, we want you to play the long game, to focus on what matters and to try really hard to let go of what doesn't. This saves your sanity, and by not bringing the ins and outs of the day-to-day to your legal team, we will also be able to devote our time to what really matters the most to you. By identifying and staying focused on your goals, you will be well positioned to save time, to save money, and to save a lot of stress. All of the tips we've shared today really go back to one overarching truth. Much of what determines the cost of a divorce is how those two people involved choose to handle themselves. More than anything else, the level of cooperation or alternatively conflict that exists between the two divorcing people will have the most significant impact. Generally speaking, the most agreements that can be reached out of court, the more time, money, and emotional turmoil that you'll save yourself. So while you can't control your spouse's decisions or their time frame, you are 100% in charge of your 50%. We've designed things at Freed Marcroft to be respectful of all that, of your time, your money, and your emotions. And that begins with the first step that I talked about, the Goals and Planning Conference. Here's how it works. We are all generally pretty good at identifying our problems. The problem is that we aren't naturally very good at digging deep and identifying our goals on our own, especially when we're stressed. We need the help of other people. The reason that identifying goals matters so much is that if you don't know what your goals are and you don't have a plan to get them, you will end up with whatever you end up with once your divorce is over. At the G&P conference, together, we will sit there and put in the time and effort to help you figure out what you truly want so that we can make a plan for how to go get it. It doesn't guarantee that you'll get it, but you will have a much better chance. And you will be set up down the line to stay focused on your goals and out of the weeds we talked about. Now's your chance to book your Goals and Planning Conference so that we will be set up to build a legal strategy around your priorities in terms of time, money, and emotional well-being. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate your spending time with us today.